So what does $1 million get you along the Oregon coast these days? You might be surprised. I'm going to show you right now. Hey everybody, Seth Marchant with the Home Team Brokers here. If you're new to this channel, living on the Oregon coast, we show you what it's like to eat, sleep, play, all the pros and cons of living on the Oregon coast. And in this case, we're gonna take a look at what does $1 million buy you along the Oregon coast. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, make sure you get notified each time we drop a new video, which is about once a week. We get people reaching out to us all the time that want to move along the Oregon coast, and if you're one of those people, you can give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, or click the link below to schedule a Zoom. No matter how you get in touch with us, we've got your back when it comes to moving to the Oregon coast. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I've got a list of homes here, about 10 different homes, and actually we've got a little special one. We'll save that one for last here. We're going to go all the way from the northern Oregon border in Astoria all the way down to the southern border in Brookings. So the first home that we have here, 8-bed, 4-bath, 3,300 square feet, just under $1 million. So this is not too common, right? You don't see homes with this many beds. Well, it looks like there's also a 2-bed. If you haven't seen this before, VRBO stands for Vacation Rental by Owner. So could be a little bit of an investment property for somebody, as well as these types of properties are becoming more and more common and more popular because multi-generational properties are, more and more people are starting to live together, live with their parents, live with other family members. So you're seeing the multi-generational stuff a little bit more. Brought to you by Windermere Community Realty. You know, one thing that I really like that's really unique, I like these coffered ceilings. You don't see that too much. It's really pretty. All right, so more facts and features here. Built in 1910, so a lot of updates, a lot of work in the last 110 years. 5,200 square feet. That is maybe a little bit on the smaller side for a lot. You don't see too many lots that, at least for a detached home, that are going to be less than 4,000 square feet, and at a price of $300 per square foot. Nice property. Backyard might not be quite as big. Again, 5,200 or square feet. That's not the biggest lot. Not small though. Here's what's amazing about this is those views. Those are those $1 million views, and you've got the beautiful Astoria bridge right there. Shout out to S&K Painting. That's a family member that painted that bridge. It looks great. So great area, great views, and that's what you're paying for with this home. All right, let's move on to the next one. Seaside. Next one in Seaside, we've got a new construction here. 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet, $959. Brought to you by Windermere Trust Realty. Set to finish around summer of 2022. That means if you're thinking about a home like this, there might still be time for you to get with the builder and pick out some finishes and kind of put your own personal touch on it. Now this one, 0.36 acres, so about a third of an acre. An acre is about 43,500 square feet. So this one's going to be like a 15,000 square foot lot. So this kind of lot that you're looking at here, about 3 times the size of that lot that we just looked at in Astoria. They got a waterfall back there too. That's pretty cool. Another frame of reference for you. Seaside, kind of that strip and the turnaround is right around down there. So that's where you're at. And I think too, if you're somebody that's worried about tsunamis, and maybe rightfully so, I think you're at a high enough elevation tucked back up here in the hills This picture maybe doesn't quite do it as much justice as it looks. It looks pretty flat, but I think you're probably back up in the hills quite a ways here, safe away from those potential tsunamis. Looks like it'll be a beautiful home. And there's that strip, that turnaround that I was talking about right here. This is the place where if you ever go to Seaside and you drive down that kind of main drag where everything is, that's the turnaround that you'll go around there. All right, on to our next home here. Pacific City, $859,000. Now I did pick a few that were in the eights. Everything else is going to be, like I said, just under $1 million. There's not a ton of homes along the Oregon coast that are going to be right at $1 million or really close to $1 million. So I picked a few in the eights as well. 3-bed, 3-bath, 3,000 square feet, Pacific City. That's closer to the Central Oregon coast. Brought to you here by Coldwell Banker Professional Group, Lincoln City. Let's look at some more of the features. So we got a 7,400 square foot lot, $286 per square foot. So it looks like a pretty good value. Very nice home, lots of space, and like so many other things at the coast, you do have at least a pretty good view of some water. Looks like from some of the windows there you might be able to see the ocean, so you've got some ocean views as well. And then you've got the attic here. So if you've ever wondered, again, this house is 3,000 square feet. This is probably not going to count towards your square footage. In order to count towards square footage, it has to typically have electricity, and it has to have heat too. Usually you're not heating something that doesn't have insulation, so I doubt it has any kind of heating up there. So that's probably not counting towards your 3,000 square feet. So that's always nice when you can get a home that has this kind of extra space. And as you can see, what do you do with that extra space? Storage. Christmas stuff, of course, Christmas trees. So that's always nice. Nice property. All right. On to the next one, Yachats. All right. So this one, right at $1 million, 5-bed, 3-bath. This one did say, so this one's a little bit different. 1.3 acres, private estate, investor's dream. They say that because you can subdivide this to 3 to 5 lots. So what does that mean if you've never heard of that before? When you own a piece of property, you can't just subdivide is the term, but you can't just section off the property and build something else and then sell that piece of property. It has to be permitted first, so it has to be the county has to okay that with you. So what they're saying here is this is going to be a property that they believe that the county should be able to allow you to subdivide, and so you could take this 1.3 acres that this property's on and make a few other lots and sell those lots, or you can just keep it as is and not have to worry about neighbors. Brought to you here by Wood Winds Realty. This one specifically actually mentions a tsunami safe area. I'm not familiar with this area. Let me scroll out and give you a little bit of view, because this is a smaller town. A lot of people probably haven't heard of this town, Yachats, and you can kind of see, you're in the Central Oregon coast. You see Astoria and Seaside. We were just looking at a home up there, and then there's Pacific City. So Yachats, you're going to be just west of Eugene on the Central Oregon coast. So this is a unique property, definitely going to appeal to the investor that might want to take some of that land and subdivide it. All right, so that's what you get for $1 million in Yachats. All right, next, Seal Rock. Beautiful area. This is going to be one of the prettier parts of the Oregon coast. Very pretty home. Again, $874, so not quite $1 million. 3-bed, 4-bath, 2,800 square feet. Breathtaking views. Yep. And you're right on the beach there too. This area, there's some tourist attractions around this area, but I would bet that this beach is probably not getting a ton of foot traffic. So you probably got kind of your own private beach right there. Brought to you by Marchant Real Estate. This is on a half acre, so you're looking at probably 22,000 square feet. So that's a big lot, $304 per square foot. Really nice home, open kitchen, big island, Everybody always loves that. And then, yeah, look at those views. That's what you get to look at every day. So that's a nice home, great lot, great views. One thing that jumped out at me now, when you see this, you know, this land right here, it's not going to be here forever. You can already see the erosion. Now, you're probably not going to worry about erosion affecting you too much here in the coming years, or maybe even the coming decades. I mean, who knows? But this land will not be here forever, so just something to consider. It'll probably be there for a long time. Probably not really a concern, but if you're looking to keep the property forever and maybe hand it down to another family member or something like that, you know, that might be something that you take into consideration with a property like this. But beautiful property, beautiful location, big lot. It's probably pretty quiet over there. Let me actually take you to the map, and we'll scroll out a little bit. So if you haven't heard of this area, you can get a better feel for where it is. So you're going to be just north of Walport, just south of Newport right there. And you can see you've got a state park right there, and then you've got Seal Rock State Recreation Site. You've got this is a pretty quiet area, so looking for something a little bit more secluded, a little bit more quiet. It's a beautiful home, some beautiful views. All right, next, okay, Lincoln City. All right. $899, 4-bed, 4-bath, 2,100 square feet. Now, if you're not from this area or outside of the states, you don't see this too often. So you've got 3 levels here on this one. Some places don't allow you to build beyond 2 levels. If you go 3 levels and then 4 levels and 5 levels, next thing you know, you're blocking a lot of people's view behind you. There's various different reasons why. The county might not want people to build above 2 levels, but when you can find a place like that, you can see, look at those windows, those views. All right, so brought to you by Cascade Sotheby's International Realty and Carolee Slowick. Very, very nice realtor, great realtor. Yeah, look at those views. That's a lot of what you're paying for there. And that's going to be the case, of course, in a lot of properties that are going to be close to 7 figures along the Oregon coast. You're paying for that property, you're paying for those views. So let's see here. About a 10,000 square foot lot. Now, it's not quite clear looking at these pictures what the lot looks like, because 10,000 square feet is, I'm not actually sure if that includes both of these homes or just the one, because unless this comes pretty far back, that really doesn't look like 10,000 square feet. But nevertheless, $424 price per square foot. It's a pretty high price per square foot, but you are getting 4 beds. And again, you're getting those views. All right, so next one. Oh, and by the way, too, this is a more familiar area to most people, Lincoln City, but I'll scroll you out just in case you're not too familiar with where this is. All right, so you can kind of see, again, the central Oregon coast is where Lincoln City resides. All right, next one, Depot Bay. All right, so this is kind of the whale watching spot on the Oregon coast. The whales tend to come in a lot closer, for whatever reason, to the shore in Depot Bay. And you can see pretty much all of Depot Bay, you're going to be set back here along this cliff. So it kind of gives you a much greater view. You can see a lot farther out when you're this high up. So $925, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,900 square feet. That's going to be a pretty high price per square foot. Brought to you by JKI Realty. Sorry if I'm messing that up. I'm not familiar with that brokerage. Built in '78, so 9,000 square foot lot, and yeah, $482. Pretty high price per square foot, and like so many other things, you're paying for those views. Scrolling down here, not too many updates. Really, this is what you're getting right here. This is where all the money is going towards. And let me take you out a little bit more here. You can kind of see this is going to be a lot of Depot Bay. So Whales coming close. You got a great elevated view to see far out into the ocean. Although again, you don't really need to because they come out here pretty close to the shore. But just that space, that property, that's kind of what you're paying for. Is that piece of land right there. All right, on to the next. Florence. A great area, a really popular area. This one has a 3D tour. Now, I'll click this for a second, but I'm not going to actually tour it. Some people, when they look at these things, they suffer from vertigo. You can click out right here, down here, to go back out to what's called the dollhouse view. Some people suffer from motion sickness when they look at these things, so I'm not going to stick in here too long. But 3D tours are a great way to get a feel for what a property looks like. So 950, 3-bed, 3-bath, 3,200 square feet. So a little bit bigger property here, brought to you by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services real estate professionals. Built in 1959, so 0.92 acres, almost a full acre. So big lot. And you can see this one, $289 price per square foot. So not quite the price per square foot that some of these other properties have. Looks like you also have a detached garage as well, or shop rather. Nice property, nice open space, and look at this right here. Look at these windows. So you're kind of always getting that view. Looks like throughout most of your living space. Take a look right here. Yeah, look at these windows. Those are not inexpensive windows when you get windows that big. And then back deck here. All right, so what are you looking at here? If you're not familiar with Florence, Florence is one of the more popular spots along the Oregon coast. Again, Central Oregon coast. So the river. So a lot of towns along the Oregon coast. I guess this is actually Glenada. Yeah. Maybe that's just a neighborhood. I'm not familiar with that area. A lot of towns along the Oregon coast are set along the river like this, as opposed to actually being on the coast. Like a Cannon Beach would be on the coast, for example. But it is common for a lot of towns along the Oregon coast to be kind of along the mouth of a river. So that's what you're actually looking at. So you're not looking at the coast right there. You're looking at the Siuslaw River. All right, next, we got another one in Florence, actually. All right. So this one, 950, 3-bed, 4-bath, 3,600 square feet, bigger house. Got an HOA, 10,000 square foot, 260. This house, strikes me as a pretty good price per square foot for this type of home. It's been on the market for a while. Brought to you by TR Hunter Real Estate. Set back on a golf course. So built in 2005. Surprised it's been on the market for that long. Definitely just looking for the right person. Probably a golfer. A golfer is going to appreciate a piece of property like that. Kind of an interesting living room setup with the stacked couches and love seat right there. Big, huge island. Actually, it's sometimes people ask about this in real estate. So with real estate photography, you use a wide angle lens. If you just use a regular angle lens, it's really not going to give you the full depth of a room. So that's why a wide angle lens is used. However, that full depth on a computer screen is a little bit different than the human eye. So this island, it's a big island. It looks pretty big. When you look, you see right there, not quite the same depth that you might think it is. So, but nevertheless, big open kitchen. Always desirable to have a big open kitchen. Nice big laundry room, plenty of cabinetry. That's always nice too as well. Okay, all right, on to the next. Brookings. All right, so Brookings. Now we're down all the way to the southern Oregon coast. 925, 2-bed, 2-bath, so going to be for somebody that's wanting to retire. Brookings is probably one of the best spots to retire along the Oregon coast. There's a thing called the Brookings effect, where there's a lot of warm air that comes up from Northern California and makes its way up towards Brookings. And Brookings sometimes is the warmest spot in the state of Oregon. So that's what attracts a lot of retirees. So if you want your own private beach, this might be one of the best properties. Look at that. Now, Brookings is also kind of one of the more dramatic spots along the Oregon coast as far as views and rock formations go. So look at those windows. Again, you're going to be staring at those views all day. Look at that. Can't really beat that. Amazing sunsets, I'm sure. Yeah, it's nice to sit in your kitchen and maybe wash some dishes and take a look at those views. All right, so brought to you by South Coast Real Estate Company, built in '78, almost 3/4 acre, $395. Yeah, that doesn't really, $395 per square foot doesn't really feel bad given what you're getting here with this sort of almost like private beach. Again, look at that. You probably aren't going to see too many people around this area, and this actually right here, this probably more accurately depicts a lot of Brookings. There's not going to be a ton of sandy beaches around Brookings, so if you want to be in Brookings and actually have a sandy beach that you could walk down from your house to, there's not going to be a ton of options. This is going to be about it. And let me scroll out for you so you can kind of see exactly where Brookings is. All right, so there's the California border right there. Now, if we go satellite, that'll kind of give you a little bit of a better impression. We're going slow today. So you can see we've got some beach right there, but a lot of Brookings, as you can kind of see, a lot of rocky sort of, these are all kind of cliffs right here. So not a ton of sandy beach if you want to be in Brookings and kind of have your own beach. Handful of houses that'll do it. This is one of them. Okay, final notes here. We got one more property actually. This is just simply a lot. This is not a house. So this is $849 for a 4,700 square foot lot. Okay. So where is this? Seaside. So this is actually just right down the street from that turnaround that I mentioned towards the beginning of this video. Brought to you by Donna Witcher. That must be her brokerage. She must be an independent brokerage, probably just her. So all right, so okay, so let's take a look actually from a street view, so you can kind of see what you're looking at here. This is the lot right here. So that kind of gives you an idea too of what about 5,000 square feet will look like for a lot. So 850,000, and that's what you're going to get right there. So the turnaround, the main drag for Seaside is just right over here. So not a ton of lots around here. This is probably one of the maybe it's the last remaining lot, probably one of the last lots in Seaside that's going to be waterfront like this. That's going to be actually near the main strip and the turnaround there. So so if this is a spot for you, you're not going to find another lot like this probably. But $850 for a 5,000 square foot lot. $1 million view, yeah, that's what you're paying for, that little piece of land and not much else. All right, so one thing you notice on some of these things is a Zestimate, and why am I looking at Zillow? As realtors, we have something called an MLS, a multiple listing system, that we typically look at, and a lot of realtors really actually frankly don't like Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com. But our MLS, frankly, the interface is not great. It doesn't look very good. And there's some private information, too, that's not supposed to be shared with the public. So that's why I'm looking at Zillow. One thing that people ask about sometimes is these estimates. Like, how accurate are these estimates? Well, these estimates are just simply calculated by data, by an algorithm. So all it does is the Zillow's algorithm is looking at other homes in the area that have recently sold that are similar to the home that's listed. They're looking at lot size, price per square foot, bedrooms, baths, all that stuff, all the kind of data that they can extract, and then that's kind of how they come up with their estimate. Oftentimes these are pretty accurate, but Zillow doesn't have all information. They don't always know if maybe you did an update to your home or something like that. So sometimes they can be really inaccurate too, and sometimes that algorithm just seems to make a flaw, or there's just a miscalculation in there and you get a really funny number. So definitely defer to an expert if you're thinking about selling your home, such as myself. We can give you a very accurate estimate on your home and make sure all those numbers are right. But that can be a little bit of a guide for you. So that's why I'm looking at Zillow here. Again, a lot of realtors don't like Zillow, and probably for good reason. They take a lot of realtors' commissions and sort of leverage these homes to take leads that they then sell to other realtors. So, all right, so that's all that I've got for you here today. Again, if you're thinking about buying or selling, if you'd like to see any of these homes or any home along the Oregon coast, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email. You can even click the link below in the description if you want to schedule a Zoom with us. No matter how you get in touch, we've got your back when it comes to moving to the Oregon coast. All right, take care, everybody.